Welcome to TechbrothersIT. In this video, we are going to learn how to install self-hosted IR and work on upgrades automatically or manually. So in my previous videos, you guys already know that I have created a self-hosted IR multiple times, and the reason if you need to read the data from maybe your on-prem SQL or from the file share and bring to the Azure, maybe just want to load on the blob storage or load to the Azure SQL DB, you can use that. So it's very convenient, and a lot of people are using it. So what we are going to do, we are going to learn here how to create the Azure Data Factory quickly, and then we are going to create a VM. So think about that. This is your on-prem VM that you have. In my case, I'm going to create on the Azure VM that might have SQL servers installed later, or maybe a share location where the people put the files there. And then what I will do, I will create a self-hosted IR. We will do 8.4, and then we will be good to go. Our Azure Data Factory and then a VM will be able to communicate by using self-hosted IR. So we will be able to get the data from our Azure VM. Let's say if a SQL is installed there, or we want to have a file share that is on this machine that we will be able to access. And then what we are gonna actually learn more details how to do auto upgrades, and in this case, let's say we have 8.4, then we would like to go to 9.5 or something like that, the IRs. Then we can take a look on that one. Then at the end, what we will do, we will do some experiments if you want to do some manual updates, and also I will add that one more part to it sometime if we want to downgrade. So why we would like to do that, maybe there is a version that Microsoft has released it, and what you want to do, you need to downgrade to previous version. So why in this case, what we will do, we'll from 8.4 to, let's say, from 9 point something, 9 dot something to 8.4. Okay, so why we want to do that? Because maybe Microsoft has released a version and you have upgraded and you felt like, oh, my all the pipelines are running slow, or maybe a couple of pipelines start running slow with the copy data activity and all that. It was running fine with 8.4, and now you feel like, oh, it's a good idea for me, maybe I revert back to the previous version and let it run there. So we are going to cover that scenario as well. So tons of scenarios are there to learn. Now let's go ahead and create the Azure Data Factory quickly. So I'm on Azure portal, and I'm going to go to the Azure Data Factory here. And once we are going to create, what we will do, select the subscription, resource group, and then East US is fine with me. And I'm going to call this guy Tech Brothers ADF. So no GitHub as of now. I'm going to click later and create. Now the second part, what I want to do, I want to create Azure VM. And I really don't care about in which VNet and all that it is. Think about this. This can be in any network. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the virtual machines here, and in the virtual machine, I'm going to create this. So if you have your let's say laptop and all that, you don't have to do this. But in my case, I just want to use this new VM that I'm going to create. So Tech Brothers, and I'm going to call this one self-hosted IR VM. Let's call this guy. So self-hosted IR East US is fine. So Windows 2016 is just fine with me, and with normal basic standards, and I'm going to call this TV user and give the password, and then it is asking for long passwords. I have to give the long password. Okay. Now this is looking much better. If you guys notice, I did not do any other changes such as put in the VNet and all that. So you know that Azure Data Factory is on just the portal, and this VM, I didn't even care in which VNet it is, because self-hosted IR is going to serve the purpose of extracting the data from this VM to our Azure resources such as Azure SQL DB or blob storage and all that. So that's why we are using self-hosted IR. Our resource is ready, so let's click on the VM right there, and what we are going to do, we are going to connect to it. So click on connect, and it's going to ask you, hey, you want to do RDP? Yes, I would like to, because that's how I'm going to work on it. So download RDP file, double click here, it's going to open, yes, connect to me, and then I'm going to ask Okay, this is asking our user to be user and my password, so the long password we provided. Okay, so we are connected to our VM right now. Our VM is getting ready. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to local server, and here I am not interested in this IE enhanced security because it bothers me a lot. Every time I need to download something, it really bothers me. So I'm going to just once it's click right there, refresh. So I'm going to just disable this part. So I'm going to go to on, and here I'm going to set to the off. And also I will do few things. So you don't have to worry about that because they send a lot of messages. So I'm gonna go right here, go to the Internet Explorer, and now I should be good to go with the download. So right there it's opening. So our VM is ready, and what I'm doing, I am downloading integration runtime 5.8. So if you guys notice that in my starting notes, I actually totally messed up. I said 8.4. It's not 8.4. It's 5.8. Okay, and then 5.9 and all that. Okay, so that's one of the thing. Just I'm correcting that right now, and now I'm downloading 8.4, and then we should be good to go. So downloading has started. I will put the link in the description so you can download whenever you want it. And now what we are gonna do, we are gonna go to the portal, and here we will go to the Azure Data Factory. So I will go to the resource group, and in the resource group I'm going to go ahead and go to Azure Data Factory. In the Azure Data Factory, I'm going to open the studio here and now create self-hosted IR. So let me create that right there. Okay, so let's go to the manage, and in the manage integration runtimes, in the integration runtimes, click new, and here you have self-hosted IR option available. Click next, and it does not ask you 100 questions. It will just simply ask you, hey, select this guy and continue. And now I'm going to provide the name. So self-hosted IR, simple. Okay, so it did not ask any other question and say, hey, okay, I'm going to go ahead and create that for you. And this is all set. So we have setting, we have keys, and that's all we need. Now we need to go our VM, and that's where we are going to open a folder, and in this folder I have downloaded integration runtime, and I'm going to run that. So I'm going to install that, and once the installation process is completed, that's where I need to go back to my keys and get any of them, so I can get this one or this one and then paste it there to register. So now we will just wait for our installation to complete. Accept the terms, next, run, install. Our installation has been completed successfully. Now we are good to go, and need to copy the key and bring it here. So I'm going to click right there, and that has copied my key, and here I will be pasting. Once I paste it, it's showing me this green check mark, and that means it is validating correctly, and I'm going to go ahead and register. Now if you have multiple servers, in this case I have only single node, but you can have two nodes and all that, so you can configure them. So in my case I don't have it. If you have it, you can work on it, and hit finish, and now you should be all good. It will be finishing up quickly. Now while this is working on this side, let's go and take a look on the portal side. So I'm going to close this and see if it is self-hosted IR is still unavailable. Click on self-hosted IR, and if we go to the node, as of now it's not showing any node. It's not doing anything. So that's fine because it's going to take some time. Let's refresh, and you see that it worked out. So the version that we installed 5.8, at least it got the version right away from the node, and now it is connecting with the node. So the node is connected and running, so that's good. And now let's refresh and see what's happening. It's still showing unavailable, but it will be available shortly. Now we can go on this side, see it's still working. So now it says okay, you want to troubleshoot problems, you want to see preview, it's got completed. We can launch configuration manager and take a look from here as well. So now as I installed everything, I can stop the service here. So this is the name of the data factory it is attached to, And now I can go to settings, take a look on the settings. I can go to diagnostics. If you need to send the error problems or any errors happening on your data factory, pipelines failing, and all that, you can send logs to the Microsoft. And once you do it, what it will do, it will create a report ID. So if I'll do right away, it will say, hey, I'm uploading your logs, and then it will create this report ID. You can copy this report ID, send to Microsoft, and they will be able to figure out on their end, because these logs are uploaded to their system. Now let's close this guy. Let's go to the update, and here you can see that a new version 5.97949.2 release notes of integration self-hosted IR is available in the download center. Now you can download, and or you can schedule. It is scheduled to run on 10:30 2021st on the 3 a.m. Okay, so it is you can change the time and all that. So let's say you don't want to be upgrade automatically, you can always go to portal, and let's take a look on this side. Now I am in this portal right here, and see my integration runtime is working just fine. My version is 5.8, but upgrade is available. Let's click on the upgrade available, and it took me right here, auto update. Now it is telling me, hey, your current version is 5.8 and you are good to go and install the updates. So you can have enable, and you can see it a time. It selected a time for me. And in your case, if you're not interested, you will say, hey, I don't want to install automatically, and just leave that. So what's going to happen once this upgrade is going to run, the self-hosted IR service will restart on your node. In my case, it is the only single node, so it will restart, and you want to make sure your pipeline is not running during that time. Otherwise they will fail, because the service will restart. So now you want to go back to the notes here, and take a look on this all details. So generally, when you install self-hosted IR runtime in your local machine or Azure VM, you have two options to manage the version of self-hosted IR. So you do auto upgrade or manually. Okay, so that's the auto I showed you, and in auto you enable it and provide the time. Okay, that's good. And here is some more detail. If you have multiple self-hosted integration runtime nodes, that means that I do not qualify, because I have single node. There is no downtime during the auto upgrade. Okay, that's best. So if you have multiple nodes, what's going to happen? There is no downtime, because the auto upgrade happens in one node first while others are working on tasks. Okay, once it's completed on that node, then it will take over once the first node finishes with the update, it will take over the remaining task when the other nodes are updating. If you have only one single node, then it can have some downtime during the auto update. Okay, so you understand that. Now that's important. You can read all those details and everything. Now what we will do, we will go back, and first of all, as update is also available, but I would love to do right now. So there are multiple options I have. I can go back here and see, it's saying if you want to do it by yourself or something, you have to go to portal, so you go to portal and do it from here. There's no button here that you can click right there and it will update. So our first goal, so we were seeing that to see upgrade self-hosted IR from the portal. So that's what we are going to do right now. So we will go back to our portal, and here I'm going to upgrade, sorry. If you can click right here or right here, it will take you same place, auto update. So click right there or click right here and go to the auto update. Once you're there, you're gonna go ahead and say update now. So let's do that. We are not waiting till tomorrow. So now it's saying upgrading, and if you go right there, you can see the progress. So it is doing right now. And if I go to the machine right now, and let me see what it does. So we can minimize this part, and see this window appeared. So updating integration runtime. First of all, it's going to download the upgrades, and then it's going to install them and then register. Meanwhile, what we can do, we can see, I can show you that my service is last restart time. Okay, so I have some notes ready. So if I will go and query this guy in the open command and run this query, it will tell me my speed ID. So if I'll go right here to the CMD, run this, and this is saying 2912. So that's my PID. And now if I go back to the my PowerShell, I can run this command and it will give me the last execution time or restart time. Because I was concerned about that one, honestly. I just want to make sure for how long this service take, to restart and all those kind of things. So it is still downloading right now. So if I can get the PowerShell going. Okay, so I have PowerShell keep going here, run as admin, and now I can run that statement, and that should be helpful to see the last time restart. So if I go right here and run this statement with 2912, so I'm providing my PID that I got from right here. So it is that should get it, but it's not showing me. So services run in here, and I did this last time. So let me see if I can't do it here, then I can have multiple ways to do it. So if I can go to the event viewer, and in the event viewer I can take a look. So meanwhile I go to event viewers, and in the event viewer it should tell me the last restart and all those kind of things, so I can take a look on the logs. So it's installing right now, and here is my event logs. I mean, this should work, the command I was working, because I tested it. So I go to the Windows logs, go to system, and here I should be able to see that. So it is registering right now. Because I think one thing can happen. This PowerShell is not showing me because I never restarted the service. I installed the service, so that could be the case. Once it will restart, I will be able to see that. So this service, first time when it got installed, it is running. So I never restarted. So that's why I don't have the last restart time or start time for this one. Maybe that's the reason. But let's see. So it's registering right now, and we were upgrading from 5.8 to 5.9. So it registered successfully, and you can see the message right there. Integration service node has been updated to the latest version, and you can hit OK here. If you are not there, it's not going to ask you, hey, so stop. It is running, and you can see right there your integration services runtime host is up to date. Okay, so that's good. And now let me run this statement again one more time, and let's see if we can 26, 25, 16. Okay, so you see that because as I was telling you, this command is going to give you last restart time. So it was never restarted, that's why. So you can see that it got restarted at 20:51 this time on 27. Okay, now that's good. So we learn how to upgrade our Azure self-hosted IR from the portal. Now what we're gonna do, we wanna do upgrade from the VM manually. So in this case, I have 5.9, and I would like to go towards 5.10. Okay, so 5.10. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do manually. So let me go to the VM, and in the VM I am going to do one thing, and I'm going to search integration services runtime download. Okay, so once I do that, it's gonna show me this integration services runtime download, and I can go further down there, and let's see if I'm actually in the right. Let me maximize. So search for self-hosted integration runtime download, and once you do that, it should bring you right here. Okay, I will put the link in the description as well. So integration services overview. Why it's not bringing me download button right there? Okay, so anyways, I can search for further. I'm gonna do this one on my outside window right here and then paste it, because on the IE I'm not really comfortable. Download integration self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, so I search for that, and here is and right here. Okay, so I will get this going for you guys. So I click on download, and once you download, it's going to show you the versions available. So mostly you are going to see like 3 versions: 5.9, 5.10, 11, and next you will see 5.12 and 13 and all that. Okay, so in my case, I will put the link of this in the description, so you don't have to struggle like me. Okay, So that's fine, but on this Internet Explorer is really weird, honestly. It's very hard to, and especially on the VM side. And now click download, and I'm going to download 5.10. So as you guys remember that I have 5.9 as of now, and I would like to go to the 5.10. Okay, so I'm going to go to the VM again, click on 5.10, and then download, and I'm going to go ahead and save as, and then I'm going to save into the download folder. So it's downloading right now. Let's open the download folder. Okay, so 5.10 is downloaded. What we can do, we can right click here and install. If you guys notice here, I did not stop the service, I did not do anything. I am just going ahead and manually installing it after downloading. So that's possible. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I need to stop my service, restart it later and all that. So once you do that, it's gonna pop up this wizard or a window, and then you're gonna hit next and accept the terms and hit next, and then you're gonna hit next, and now you're gonna go ahead and install Microsoft Integration Runtime files to be updated. Close this application and then retry. Okay, so as our integration runtime manager is open, it's asking, hey, you want to close it and then retry. Okay, so I can go ahead and retry, and it should work just fine. Meanwhile, if you will go on the portal side, what you're gonna see, let's see what we have. So cancel this out, and I'm going to refresh. As of now, we have 5.9 because it did not install it yet. Okay, so we are installing manually 5.10 on our VM. Okay, once this installed, I will take you to the other side and show you what happened. So I'm going to close this, or maybe I will show you guys. So if you guys go right there, and then always in the event viewer, you can see when the service was started and all that. So you can search for different things, integration services entered into running state. You see right there. So you can see this information, and you can see the time and everything. So if you are interested, somebody asks, hey, what time did you install, and what time it happened and all that. So you can go to the event viewer and go to system, and then in the system you can always see right there. See, you can see that integration services enter into the running state. So if you are gonna go like before few of them, and you will see like a stop state right there. So there are multiple ways to find out. Okay, I'm gonna close this guy because no, I don't want to close the entire VM. I'm talking about the event viewer. Okay, so this has completed successfully. Let me try to go back to the portal quickly and show you. So it's still showing you 5.9, and see right there, it showed you 5.10 now. So we did not make any change on the portal side. We only downloaded the latest version on the VM and then installed it, and no big deal. It kept working. So, but I can tell you, if I go back here, right here, let me minimize this download part of it. And now if you go right here, see, this is working just fine. We can go to the settings, diagnostics, update, and all that is saying now it is already up to date. So I'm gonna just move this guy a little bit here. Now if you go right here and run our statement, now you see that 3192, that's our PID. And if I go ahead and put this 3192, okay, so you see that it last time it was restarted was at 8:51, and then now it is 9 o'clock, right? So the service did restart it, but it take like maybe a couple of seconds to restart, so not a big deal. So just want to make sure you understand, so your service will restart every time you will upgrade. So we have learned a lot of things here. So we have done we created the self-hosted IR with 5.8. Then we upgraded from the portal, and we have the option there where we can schedule, but we did not schedule. So we did from the portal by triggering it upgrade now, and then we also did upgrade manually by downloading the latest version on the VM. So we downloaded 5.9, and then we downloaded 5.10 and install on top of 5.9. Now right now what we have 5.10. Okay, and what we want to do, there is a problem with 5.10, let's say. Okay, I don't know if there is. So let's say there is a problem here, and now we figure it out like, oh, we need to revert back to 5.8. So what you need to do, we don't have to delete anything here. What you're gonna do, you're gonna go to the portal, sorry, VM back, and in the VM, first of all, what we have to do, if I go back and try to install, let me open the download folder. So if I go back here, and now as my, you guys see right there is 5.10, right? And I want to go back to the 5.8. Okay, so let's do that. So if I double click and say like, oh, let me double click and install, it's not gonna let you install, because this is gonna tell you like, hey, you have the latest version already, why you are installing old version on top of it? So that's the problem. See, the same or new version already installed. So you can't just go ahead and say like, okay, let me install the old version on the top of a new version. That's not possible. So what we are going to do, we are going to go to the control panel, and in the control panel, we are going to go find add remove programs. So we are going to go add remove programs. Okay, so add or remove programs, and here I have my integration services runtime. I'm gonna right click and uninstall. So it means that your IER or self-hosted IER is not gonna be available while the time it is uninstalled, right? So you're okay with that. So I'm gonna say yes. Now we are uninstalling it. Now, once you uninstall it, it is saying, hey, application should be closed before the continue to install or uninstall. So I have this guy right here. This I'm going to close and say retry. And now it is asking you a few questions. Do you want to delete all user data from Microsoft Integration Runtime, self-hosted IR? This data is included authentication key, data sources credential, local security groups, log files, other configuration. So you don't want to delete this. Why? Because see, if authentication key is gone, so you have to bring the new authentication key and reconfigure it. If your credentials are gone, so let's say you were using linked services and all that, and you have username and passwords and all that, that will be gone. So you have your linked services are not going to work, whichever are using self-hosted IR. So you want to keep this all things as it is, and you say if you want to say select no to keep the data. So if you want if you will update to new version later, please select no to keep the data. So I will say it is asking, do you want to delete all user data? I will say no, I want to keep. And as you see the last line, it does say that if you want to later on upgrade to the another version, so better off, you don't want to be like deleting everything, so you want to keep that. So here, let's see what happened. So integration services has been deleted. So now we are good to go and install. And what we are going to do, we are going to go to this folder right there and install 8.4. So let's run it. So you guys want to see what's happening on this side. Remember, it was 5.10 and we are reverting back to 5.8. So refresh and say it says unavailable. It does not say which version is there or all that. It's still keeping the same version, but it is saying unavailable. So we are going to go back to our VM, hit next, accept all the terms, hit next, hit install, and now it should be installing 8.4 again. Okay, so this is how you will be downgrading from a latest version to some old version. So you will uninstall the integration runtime on your VM, and then you will reinstall. Our integration runtime 5.8 has been installed. Hit finish, and now what we should do, the self-hosted IR no is coming automatically. We don't have to do anything. Stop the service. No, it's saying that the node is not active. Okay, inactive data factory. So let's wait for a few seconds here, and while we'll go back here and let's refresh and see what happened. It got this guy 5.8 and it says it's running, and it's again upgrade is available because the 5. Is old and we have 5.9 available. So it is giving us option like, hey, you want to upgrade now? No, we don't want to upgrade. And meanwhile it took care of this part automatically. So it got connected and everything is good. So now we have downgraded from 5.10 to the 5.8 and you see the steps there, right? So again you have the same option of hey, new version is available if you want to upgrade. So in this video you learn tons of things, and I hope these videos will help. Here I'm gonna make some changes, 5.25 or something. Okay, so we learn tons of stuff, and I hope these videos will help to solve the problem. Thanks very much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.